What's up, y'all? It's your girl Stephanie, your NEMT guru, and I came through to talk a little bit about starting your business. If you are interested in starting in passenger transportation, becoming an NEMT provider, let's talk about it. So I did a live probably a few days ago, and I talked about just starting your business and offering passenger transportation NEMT services. And why I say it like that is really because what we have to focus on is the business side of it, whether it's a business plan, marketing, figuring out or learning who your target audience is, deciding how much or determining how much you're going to charge people for your product or service. And so a lot of times it's not really based on that you want to become an NEMT provider. But I'm going to tell you some of the things that you definitely need when you're thinking about starting your passenger transportation business and offering those NEMT services, right? First thing is research. Like, it don't matter how many consultations I do, how many workshops I offer, courses. I always tell people, in order to start anything, you have to do your research. Passenger transportation to me is like a unique industry. And so understanding what you're getting yourself into, understanding that there are costs that come with it as far as insurance, fuel, things like that, right? But you have to do your research. You have to understand what your state is saying that you have to do in order to become a passenger transportation NEMT provider for that state. Every state is not the same. I don't care what nobody tells you. You want to know what your state requirements are, regardless of who your customer is going to be. Number two, I start my courses off with understanding your target audience, determining who you want or who needs your services. And I think the ideal word is who needs your services and how do you get your services in front of that target audience. And so understanding who needs your service, whether you decide you want to work with brokers, whether you decide that you're going to do private pay, student transportation, concierge service, whatever it is, you want to know who your target audience is. And so, like, even in my NEMT course, that is where we start. I believe in a very strong foundation. And if your foundation of your business is built on sand, it ain't going to last. So next thing is how do you determine your rates? And so I think a lot of us struggle even in that part, whether you offer a product or a service. Like, how do I put a dollar sign on my services? And one of the things that I noticed that a lot of entrepreneurs forget about is why, like including your time. So if you're an owner operator of a passenger transportation business, you offer NEMT, student transportation, like, you have to include your time. Period. So calculating those services is another thing you definitely want to talk about. And the third thing for me, and I'm talking about y'all outside of registering your business with your state, getting your EIN, all that stuff. We passed that. I'm talking about if you're specifically interested in becoming an NEMT provider or passenger transportation services. So the next thing to me is understanding your state requirements. And so that goes back to the research, but really diving into, okay, if I really want to transport Medicaid, Medicare, what do I need to do? Like, what is my state saying? How much insurance do I need to have? You want to understand those state requirements, even if you decide you don't want to transport. Follow me for part 2 of this series of let's get started. Like, we're going into 2024. Whatever your dreams are, whatever it is that you want to do, get started. Like, stop waiting. But at the end of the day, you have to do your research and you have to understand as far as this industry, what you're getting into. Make sure you hit that follow button, like, share. If you have comments, drop them below.